Okay, good morning, everyone. In this lesson, we are going to recap the material that has been taken during week 5. Okay, so we'll start with literature. We'll discuss the poem written by Emily Dickinson, Success is Counted Sweetest. So what do we have to know here about the author and about the poem itself? So on page 210 in your interactive reader, I want you to look at the background. Let's read it briefly because it will give you some insight into the poem, the theme of the poem, its meaning. Okay, so the poem Success is Counted Sweetest addresses some of the questions that readers might have for Emily Dickinson today. How did she feel about her lack of success as a published poet during her lifetime? Did she write for anyone other than herself and her family? This poem was published anonymously 8 years before Dickinson's death. Remember in last week's presentation, I told you quite a lot about Emily Dickinson and about her life. So most of her time was spent at home in her room. And remember we said that although she wrote a lot of poems, most of them were not published while she was still alive. So she never experienced success as a writer. Okay, so let's go to the poem, keeping that in mind. Yes, her personal circumstances. Right, let me share the file with you. So here you go. So Success is Counted Sweetest by Emily Dickinson. And one more thing I want you to remember, that most of your poems did not have any title. When they were published, then the publisher used the first verse or the first line of the poem as a title. So in this case, Success is Counted Sweetest is basically the first verse of the poem. Okay, when we look at the poem, even without reading it, what do we notice? The structure of the poem, right? That the poem consists of three quatrains. What is a quatrain once again? It's a stanza that consists of 4 lines. That's why we call it a quatrain. So here we have 3 clear quatrains, divided by breaks. Okay, let's read the poem and then we'll talk about everything, literary devices, meanings, and so on. So success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. To comprehend the nectar requires sorest need. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory, as he defeated, dying, on whose forbidden ear the distant strains of triumph burst, agonized and clear. Okay, let's analyze it stanza by stanza. Let's start with the first quatrain. Look, Emily Dickinson does not beat about the bush. She introduces the main theme, the main idea, the main message of the poem straight away in the first 2 lines. Look, success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. You know, like when you write an essay, you start with a thesis statement, what your essay is going to deal with, what it's going to be about. So here we have a clear explanation of what the poem is about. The poem is about success and how different people perceive success, how they feel it. And according to Emily Dickinson, success is counted sweetest by whom? By those who never succeed, by people who are considered failures, who fail in their endeavors. So then they appreciate success the most. Now, the third and the fourth lines of this quatrain develop this idea. They elaborate on it. Look, to comprehend the nectar requires sorest need. Here, first of all, we deal with an allusion to Greek mythology. Remember when we read the poem the raven. We talked about Nepenthe. Nepenthe was also a mythical drink, magical drink that made people forget. Yes? Nectar is also a drink of gods in Greek mythology. What is nectar? It's a sweet drink that gives you vitality, that gives you energy. Yes? And some believe that if you drank nectar, then you would be immortal. Yeah, you would never die, you would never pass away. So, nectar is also a word that is used in botany or biology. You know, nectar, the sweet liquid found in flowers. In any case, when we talk about nectar, it's a sweet drink that gives you energy, that gives you vitality, that makes you want to live. Yes? So here, nectar is a metaphor. What is compared to nectar? Of course, success. Success is a sweet nectar. And to feel the sweetness, to appreciate the taste of this success or this sweet liquid, you should want it badly. That's why the last line in this quatrain tells you requires sorest need. Look, the adjective sorest is the superlative degree of the adjective sore. And the adjective sore is associated with pain, suffering, yes? So you have to want success so badly that it hurts. And only then you will feel it. You will appreciate its meaning. You'll appreciate its sweetness, right? So once again, the first quatrain, the thesis statement in the first two lines, the main idea, the main message, and then the explanation in lines 3 and 4. When it comes to literary devices, apart from disillusion and metaphor in line 3, we can also talk about what? Repetition of consonant sounds in the first line. Success, sweetest. So here we have a case of alliteration. When it comes to punctuation or unusual capitalization, we don't have any instances in the first stanza. Now, let's go to the second quatrain. The second quatrain paints for you a battle scene. Let's read it again and then we'll discuss its meaning. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory. So here, yes, a battle scene, war, imagery. We see the purple host. A purple host is a metaphor. A purple host is the victorious army, the winning army. Look, the color purple in the 19th century was associated with basically royalty and with blood. Yes? So the purple host is the army. Why do we know that the army is the winning, the victorious one? Because they took the flag today. Yeah? And in a battle, the army that takes the flag is considered the winner. So not one of all the purple hosts who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory. Although they won the battle, they're celebrating their success. But can even one of them tell the definition so clear of victory? No. According to Emily Dickinson, they're unable to do that. They're unable to appreciate their success and their victory. They cannot understand the definition of this victory clearly. And please pay attention to the word so clear, because it will appear again in the last stanza. And I want you to draw a parallel here. Okay? So, in the second stanza, we do have examples of unusual capitalization. Yes, first of all, the word host is capitalized. That means the army, we said. Then the word flag. And of course, the word victory. Yeah, in the last line, in the last verse. Why? to give them more emphasis, to give them more weight, yeah, to these words. Do we have here any unusual punctuation? Not really. Okay, so let's summarize the second stanza once again. So here, battlefield, victorious army, they took the flag today, but they cannot define victory clearly. They do not understand it fully. Now, we go to the last stanza. Here we have another image of a dying soldier. Look, as he defeated, dying, on whose forbidden ear the distant strain of triumph burst, agonized and clear. So here, Emily Dickinson is painting for you the image of a wounded, defeated, and dying soldier. You can look at the picture to understand it better. So in the first line, we have alliteration. The harsh, hard sound D is repeated. Now, to make this picture even more somber, even more like, even darker, she uses unusual punctuation. She uses two dashes that surround the word dying. Like why? She wants us, the reader, to pause before and after the word dying, to give more significance to this word. So we kind of pause. We think, oh my God, he's dying. Look, as he defeated, dying. Yeah? So, on whose forbidden ear the distant strain of triumph burst agonized and clear. Now, why is his ear forbidden? It's quite easy, because he's lying there in the ditch, dying, wounded, and the victorious army is celebrating their victory with the flag on the hill. Then, yes, this poor soldier can hear the distant strain of triumph, victorious cries. But can he participate in these celebrations? Can he be part of this? Obviously not. He is the one who lost in the battle. So these celebrations are forbidden to him. Yes, he can hear the sounds, but he cannot be part of the celebrations, of the activities there. So he hears all that. He understands that he is about to die, that he has lost the battle. And all these triumphant cries burst, agonized and clear. Look, she uses a very, very strong word, agonized. What is agony? Severe pain. It could be physical, it could be mental. In my opinion, here we are dealing with both mental and physical pain. Yes? Remember I told you in the second quatrain to pay attention to the word clear. So clear of victory. Those victorious soldiers cannot define their victory clearly. But look here, the dying soldier can. He has a very clear understanding of victory, of what is going on there with the victorious army. That's the difference. Because only a person who is defeated, who was craving success, yeah, who had the sorest need but never got it, he is the one who understands it, who can appreciate it, and who can clearly define the meaning of victory or success. Okay? Now, let's look at the themes once again. So only failures fully understand the meaning of success. Dickinson announces this theme in the first two lines. Success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. Appreciating a boon requires privation. For example, a poor man who wins the lottery better appreciates his windfall than a millionaire executive who receives a six-figure bonus. The poet enunciates this theme when she says, to comprehend the nectar requires sorest need. Okay? So think about it. Try to compare your understanding of success to yours. Do you believe her? Do you agree with her? What is your understanding of success? Now here, we have a complete summary and analysis of the poem. If you feel you haven't understood it properly, you can always refer to this PowerPoint to read further, to study it further. So here you go. I've just explained everything to you, but as I said, again, you can refer to this presentation. Now, here you have some discussion questions. I'm sure you did these questions with your teachers in class. But anyway, these are nice questions. Yeah. So if you didn't, then take a minute and think what your answers to these questions could be. All right. So that's all when it comes to Emily Dickinson and her second poem in this selection. Next week, we are going to take one more, Much Madness is Divine as Sense. But for now, let's go to the next point of this lesson, which is grammar. And today we are going to discuss capitalization rules in the English language. Okay, let me share again another file with you, grammar now. Look, 2 weeks ago, no, not this one. 2 weeks ago, we talked quite a lot about titles and family relations. Yeah, when they should be capitalized, when they should not be capitalized. So today we'll refer to the same rules and we'll take some new ones as well. Some of them are very easy and you have known them for years since you started school. But unfortunately, many of you ignore these rules. You kind of know them, but you do not apply them to your writing. So let's start with rule number 1, which is the easiest one. Yeah? English capitalization rules. Rule 1. Always capitalize the first word in a sentence. And you always forget to do so. It doesn't matter what kind of sentence you are dealing with. It could be a statement, a question, an exclamation. No matter what, capitalize the first letter. Grade 1, yes? Rule number 2. Okay. Names and other proper nouns, of course, they require capitalization. My favorite author is Jane Austen, for example. Jane is the name. Austen is a family name, capitalized. Tom and Diana met at Judy's house. Names, proper nouns, capitalized. Have you met my dog Boomer? Here we have a pet's name, which is still a name, so it should be capitalized. Now, when we talk about proper nouns, of course, we don't just mean names of people or pets. Here we should also keep in mind countries, states, cities, particular regions. All these words should be also capitalized. Look at the example. We experienced some beautiful Southern California weather last fall when we attended a Catholic wedding in San Diego. Look, we have Southern California, region, state, Catholic, religion, name of a religion, San Diego, name of a city. All right, the next one. It is not necessary to capitalize city, town, county, etc. if it comes before the proper name. See, kind of a disclaimer. Look, the city of New York. If the word city comes before the name of the city, you do not have to capitalize it. While if you have New York City, when the city appears after the name New York, you should capitalize the whole thing. Please pay attention to this rule. Next, capitalize days, months, and holidays, but not seasons. If you say I hate Mondays, Monday is a day of the week, capitalize it. Tom's birthday is in June, month, June, capitalize it. Valentine's Day, capitalize it. Yes, holiday, celebration. But if you deal with seasons, such as, let's say, I hate winter, no need to capitalize W because we never capitalize seasons. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Capitalize most words in titles. This rule was discussed in our previous lessons. I hope you still remember that the first and the last words in all the titles should be capitalized no matter what. When it comes to the words in between, here you have to think. If they are important words such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, capitalize them always. But if you deal with prepositions, conjunctions, or articles, do not capitalize them unless the preposition is 5 letters or more long. Yeah. Like if you have a preposition for, you do not capitalize it. But if your preposition is about or around, then capitalize them. If you are not sure, you remember this rule, then please refer to our previous PowerPoint dealing with titles. All right? Now, the next thing, countries, nationalities, and languages. We talked a little bit about cities and countries. Now let's also mention nationalities and languages. Yes, they should be capitalized. All the time when you deal with a language or a nationality, write them with capital letters. Look, English is made up of many languages, including Latin capital, German capital, and French capital. My mother is British, nationality capital, and my father is Dutch, nationality capital. Right? Next. That's right. Okay. Now, what about time periods and events in history? Yes, we should capitalize them. All those important, significant events in history are always capitalized, like wars. Let's say the World War, yeah, one, or the Second World War, please capitalize. Middle Ages, time period, capitalized. Renaissance, capitalized. Roaring 20s, like in the example, yes. But when you deal with just centuries, like the 16th century, the 15th century, the 20th century, no capitalization here. Okay. Directions. Here we're talking about compass directions. Yeah, west, east, northern, north, eastern, east, and so on. Capitalize them only when they refer to particular specific regions. When you say Northern Ontario or Southern California, yes, or Northern England, then yes, capitalize them. But when you say drive east for 2 hours, it's just a compass direction, east, so you don't need to capitalize it. The same refers to, let's say, the northern part of England. You don't need to capitalize northern part. But if it's Northern England, then yes, you will capitalize it. It's a name of the region. So we'll deal with it in exercises in the book later. So I'll try to explain it again because it's kind of tricky. Okay. Now, when it comes to relatives, family names, again, we had a whole lesson about it. Please refer to the previous presentation if you don't remember much about it. Here's just a recap. So what is the rule of the thumb? If you have just the family name or kinship name, yeah, like mother, mom, dad, grandpa, and so on, and it comes alone in the sentence without any name, capitalize it. Look, I found out that mom is here, capitalize. You look good, grandpa, capitalize. Then, when you have a family or kinship name like aunt, followed by name, capitalize both. Look, Andy and Opie love Aunt B's apple pies. Aunt B, capitalize both. Yes? But then, if you have a possessive pronoun or possessive noun before mom, grandpa, or dad, or whatever, then you do not capitalize these kidship names, family names. Look, my mom is here. My is a possessive pronoun, so you do not capitalize mom. Joe's grandpa looks well. Joe's is a possessive noun, so we do not capitalize grandpa. Yes? Look, also there's a rule that you do not capitalize grandpa, grandma, and so on, when they do not refer to a specific person, like any mother or mothers of the world, mothers of all the children in the school, we do not capitalize those nouns. Look, the last examples. The James brothers were notorious robbers. There is not one mother I know who would allow that. Do we know which mother? No, any mother. That's why we do not capitalize this. Okay, titles. Yes, again, we discussed titles very well 2 weeks ago. So what do we need to remember here about titles? If a title is used without any name, we do not capitalize it. Look, the president will address Congress. Here, president doesn't have any name. We do not capitalize it. Chairman of the board, William Bly, will preside at the conference. We do capitalize chairman of the board. Why? Because it is followed by a name, in this case, William Bly. Now, the senators from Iowa and Ohio are expected to attend. We do not capitalize senators because they do not have any names. But in this case, also expected to attend are Senators Buzz James and Eddie Twain. In this case, the title Senators is followed by Buzz James and Eddie Twain, their names. So we do capitalize the word senators. Okay? Always keep that in mind. And we discussed it in detail, as I've just said, 2 weeks ago, and we did a lot of exercises in your books. Okay, now, there is a problem though. When it comes to capitalization rules, some of them are pretty easy, like the first word of the title, the last word of the title should be capitalized, like no exceptions here. But when it comes to names, very often different reference books and different websites will give you different information. If not sure, because look, even native speakers, even teachers cannot be always sure how to capitalize some certain words. So what I recommend, you should actually refer to some sources of information, either online or reference books or whatever. Try to find the truth, but sometimes it's quite difficult. Like with seasons, as I said, they're not capitalized, like summer, winter, but you can find some books where they're actually capitalized. So you see, this subject is kind of tricky. Okay, so let's go to exercises. In your grammar booklets, this exercise will be on page 29. And at the top of the page, you will have using capital letters A. So you have 2 columns of phrases. Yes? So what do you need to do? You need to underline only the words that are capitalized correctly. Like the moon, the moon. We know that we usually capitalize planets such as Jupiter, Mars, Venus, yes? But the words such as the moon and the sun are not capitalized in the English language, unless you're Emily Dickinson, because she did capitalize the word sun, remember? But then it's personification. Normally, we do not capitalize them. Okay, so here I will show you the correct answers to this exercise in case you have doubts. And in brackets, I explain to you why this or that word is capitalized or not. Look, one of my aunts. Aunts should not be capitalized because it's preceded by a possessive pronoun my. An Italian shoe. Italian is capitalized because it's a nationality, name of the country. My history book. History is a title of a subject, title of a course, name of the course, your school course, such as chemistry, biology, science, history, and so on. We do capitalize names of courses. Now, in Ferncliff Hall, it's name of the hall, so we capitalize both words. But look, number 5 is tricky. A Cherokee village. Cherokee, you might think it's a name. No, it's a nationality. So basically, it's a village, just any village. There were maybe hundreds of Cherokee villages. So it's not the name of this particular village. But what is meant here? That this village was built by the Cherokee tribe, Cherokee Indians, yeah, in America. That's all. So it's the same as an English village, an Italian village, a Russian village. We would capitalize the nationality, but we would not capitalize the word village because it's not the name of this village. It's one of many villages built and inhabited by the Cherokee tribe. Okay. 6. In the northern part of England. Here, as I said, if it were northern England, we would capitalize both words, but it's northern part. It's just a compass direction. We do not capitalize northern in this case. Now, 7, please pay attention. There is a mistake in your books. None of the versions is correct. Look here, the title ex-president is used separately without any name. That's why, if we follow the rule, ex-president should not be capitalized. 8, just west of the city, compass direction, no capitalization. By way of the Panama Canal, name of the canal, obviously we capitalize both words. At Monroe High School, name of the school, all 3 words should be capitalized. The same as Almario International Private School, all the words should be capitalized. Okay, the second exercise on the same page, exercise B, asks you to read a passage, a paragraph, and to correct all the mistakes. Those words that are not capitalized but should be capitalized. And here the task is, I don't know, weird. You have to underline these letters 3 times. I think it's better just to capitalize these words and be done with it. And vice versa, if you see a word that is capitalized but it should not be, then please correct the word and write a small letter, yeah, lowercase letter. Okay, I will demonstrate the answers for you here on the slide. Look, on the tour to the east last summer, we visited the restored capital of colonial Virginia, Williamsburg, which is also the home of William and Mary College, the second oldest institution of higher learning in the United States. Obviously, east is a compass direction. We do not capitalize it. Summer, season, no. Capital, no. There are like hundreds of capitals in the world. Then, Williamsburg, we keep it capital. It's the name of the city. William and Mary College, that's the name of the college. So, all 3 words should be capitalized. Then United States, we keep it capital. Why? Because it's the name of the country. Now, let's go to 12. Thomas Acevedo Jr., vice president of our class, is also president of our high school's chapter of the National Honor Society. Junior is not capitalized like senior, junior. We do not capitalize those abbreviations. Then high school, there is no name. It's any high school, yes? But National Honor Society is an organization. It's a name. So obviously we capitalize all 3 words. 13. Most juniors take English, Social Studies 3, and the course in Science. Here we have junior students. We do not capitalize them. But English, Social Studies, and Science are names of courses taken at school. So, of course, we capitalize those. 14. My mother had asked me to meet her and Aunt Esperanza for lunch at Costa's restaurant on Roosevelt Boulevard. So here, mother is not capitalized because we have the pronoun my, possessive, just before it. And Esperanza, of course, we capitalize aunt because it's followed by the proper noun Esperanza by her name. Costa's restaurant, name of the restaurant, capitalized. The same goes about Roosevelt Boulevard, name of the street. And finally, 15. Driving west from eastern Colorado, we were nearly blinded by the setting sun before it dropped behind the distant Rocky Mountains. West, cardinal direction, compass direction, no need to capitalize. Eastern Colorado, name of the area, name of the region, yes, capitalized. Then sun, we said the moon and the sun should not be capitalized. So, lowercase letter s. Okay, that's all regarding grammar for this week. So, see you next week and goodbye. So let me stop sharing. Let's exit this meeting.